Hey everyone, it's Fun Around, and my name is Jordan, and that is one word. That Cavaliers game was awesome to watch. Luca is very happy. He may show up in a video soon. That was really fun to watch, but I understand they were in Cleveland. They play in about a week in Oklahoma City, so we'll see how that game goes. Awesome game from the Cavaliers. We'll see how they do on the road, though. But I was thinking to myself today, I had someone comment about me giving shout outs to other channels, and they like that. I do that, and I have met a lot of great people while I've been doing this for the past 2 years. So I thought, why not give like a list of shout outs of the great people that I have met. You've probably heard of some of them. If you have not, I would encourage you to go check them out. And that's before you can skip through this if you don't care about any of that, and I'll get into the info for Thursday's slate. But I want to give this shout out to these people because some of these people you may not know, and they're helping people make a lot of money. So the first guy, you probably know him. His name is Austin from Calling Our Shot. I haven't had too many long conversations with him, but from my conversations with him, he seems like a very genuine guy, and obviously he's very, very good at what he does, and he loves what he does. And I met Austin through Ev from Guy Boston Sports. I talk to him more often. Ev is an awesome guy. If you haven't seen Guy Boston Sports, he gives a full breakdown of the entire slate, and he gives you leans on spreads and totals, all that good stuff. Guy Boston Sports, definitely a great channel to check out. Steven from Just a Bet Outside, talk to him pretty often. He is a great guy. He's a great dad, helping me to through my dadhood as well. But Just a Bet Outside, he's very good with what he does, and he's very, very good with baseball. So once that comes around, make sure you have Just a Bet Outside. The name kind of hints towards baseball. And then another guy, Dan from Daft Previews. Dan has kind of taken off as of late. He's done very well. Me and him kind of started at the same time, and he was putting in a lot of work, but he wasn't getting the views, and then it finally caught up to him. He's kind of exploded as of late, so it's good to see that hard work finally pay off for him. And so definitely go check out Daft Previews. He's very good with the NBA, and he does WNBA, and he does some rugby stuff. He's out there down under. And then some smaller channels for guys that I have met who are very good guys and very good at what they do is Maikito. I don't think that's his actual name, but he's very good at soccer. If you don't know much about soccer or football, whatever you want to call it, I know some people get upset. Maikito is very good at soccer player props and for spreads, game lines, all that good stuff. He hits a lot, makes people a lot of money. He's like a hidden gem. And then Mark from Scoreboard Don't Lie. He's very, very analytical. He doesn't do basketball, but right now he's doing hockey. If you're not into hockey, definitely for baseball season, you want to have Scoreboard Don't Lie there. All the analytics that come with baseball, Mark, he just loves it and just dives into it, and he can just talk about it forever. I've had phone conversations with him. He can talk about this stuff forever. His channel just doesn't get much view time, I think because he has a faceless channel, but the data is all very good. So those are all guys that I have met in this area, and I think they're all great people, and they're all genuine, and they love what they do. So wanted to give that shout out. So jumping into Thursday's slate, the first game that pops up on the list is the Raptors on a back-to-back on the road against Cleveland Cavaliers. Raptors just got blown out. Cavaliers, they had to play their starters a little bit longer than they would like to for a regular season game in that Thunder game. So Kenny Atkinson, the new coach, likes to keep everyone around 30 minutes or below. But the starters played a little bit over 30 minutes. I still think this has blowout potential, but I know Kenny Atkinson would like to get the blowout early and get a lot of the other backup rotational guys in. So I wouldn't bet the house on a very high line for a Cavaliers player. And then the Raptors kind of scare me a little bit, just based off that blowout. You can't really trust them at the moment against very good teams. We need them versus like matchups like the Hawks that are fast paced type matchup, or the Bulls or fast paced type matchup, and we know we can get a lot of points from them. I know they just had Quickly come back. They just had RJ Barrett come back. Scotty Barnes was out for a while. They're trying to gel a little bit, and everyone's been kind of off and on. Manuel Quickly has been off and on with points, assists. Scotty Barnes isn't quite back to what he was before. So this game is a game I'm probably going to stay away from unless I see a line that just looks really nice. But high blowout potential for the Raptors and the Cavaliers, both teams on a back-to-back. Raptors have to travel to Cleveland, so that's another thing that worries me about the Raptors. This next game is the Timberwolves at the Magic, two defensive teams. Not too exciting there. You're not going to get sparks or fireworks or anything like that. Anthony Edwards recently has been extremely aggressive. He had a couple of 30 field goal attempt games. Last game, not as much, but he's still scoring a ton. I feel like he's not feeling the chemistry anymore with this whole experiment with Julius Randle and all of that. And he's kind of getting fed up with it, and he's just taking a bunch of shots. So we'll look where his line comes out at. Orlando, like I said, is good defensively. You could look at an under on like assist or something for guys like Anthony Edwards. They're just a very tough matchup when it comes to rebounds and assists for pretty much every position across the board. But I do have a sleeper for this game because Jalen Suggs is going to be out again. News, Paolo Banchero is going to return. They're on a back-to-back, but he will return on Friday instead of the first game of this back-to-back. So this will be the final game without their big three, Franz Wagner, Jalen Suggs, and Paolo Banchero, if you consider that a big three. So we'll see if Banchero has a minutes restriction. Probably will. But a sleeper for me is going to be Cole Anthony. He just scored 24 points, went 3 for 6 from the three-point line. And Minnesota's giving up the 9th most points to the point guard position and the 6th most three-pointers made. So Cole Anthony is a guy to look out for. In this next game, the Warriors at the Pistons. Pistons will be on a back-to-back, but they just blew out the Nets. Cade Cunningham only played 23 minutes, so he kind of rested up, and he should be good to go for this game. He does have a decent matchup for rebounds and assists. So Cade Cunningham, the Warriors give up the 4th most rebounds to the point guard position and the 8th most assists. And I think with his size, the Warriors are kind of a smaller team. He could be in line for a big rebound game. So that's a line to keep an eye out on. And then when it comes to points, you got guys like Malik Beasley, who just went off the game before. He couldn't hit anything. Tobias Harris has been all right for a while. The Detroit Pistons are kind of hard to trust, except for Cade Cunningham, but then he had that bad game in a blowout. If it's not a blowout and a close game, you can expect Cade Cunningham to have a good game, but we'll see where his lines come out at. But I'm keeping an eye on rebounds, assists. That used to be a really nice line that was hitting consistently. And then Steph Curry. Detroit gives up the 8th most threes to the point guard position. Steph Curry has done well in Detroit historically. He's been off and on this year as well, so this game doesn't intrigue me too much. Kind of just looking at the stars, but role players like Andrew Wiggins could have decent lines, and someone like Draymond Green is questionable. So going to be an interesting one, not one I'm too excited about. So with that, if you guys could, please like the video. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. If you have a little bit of extra time, could you leave a comment for the algorithm? You can just say anything and it helps get the video out there. You just put the number 1 and that helps get the video out there. And also, if you use Prizepicks and you want to get away from all those flat lines and all that stuff and and use apps with dynamic payouts, more options, all that good stuff. Check out Underdog Fantasy, Sleeper, ParlayPlay, ChalkBoard, and BETR. BETR will match your first deposit up to $200, the rest up to $100. Links are in the description. That will take you there with the promo code. Promo code is FINDAROUND11. And this next game will have some fireworks. Rockets, Grizzlies. Rockets are a little bit tough defensively. Grizzlies actually are kind of tough defensively, but they play at a really fast pace. So Jaren Jackson Jr. is questionable. Ja Morant is questionable. Desmond Bane's questionable. Santi Aldama is questionable. They have like a whole grocery list of questionable guys. But a guy who I know played last game, who has a good matchup, is Jaren Jackson Jr. Rockets give up the 11th most points to the power forward position. Last season, when he played the Rockets, he dropped 27 points on them. So if Ja Morant is out again and Desmond Bane's out again, he's got a really good matchup. If one of those two comes back, they could take some volume away from him. If it's Desmond Bane, if it's just one of those two, I wouldn't be too worried, but both of them came back. Then we'd have to reevaluate everything. And then on the Rockets side of things, you got to go back to him and take a look at him. Amen Thompson has been going off as of late, with Tari Eason, the backup small forward / power forward, has been out, and then the starting power forward Jabari Smith Jr. has been out. So Amen Thompson, the Memphis Grizzlies give up the 6th most points to the small forward position, and he's played 41 minutes in each game, the past 2 games, with those 2 guys out, and he's averaging 21.5 points and 15.5 rebounds and 3.5 assists. So he has been just going off when it comes to points and rebounds. His double-double was a steal last time around. He got it in the first half. You're probably not going to get easy money on that. But he has a good matchup for scoring here with the fast pace that Memphis likes to play at. And a note about him, he does not like to take threes. You're going to see under 0.5 3-pointers made. Has a very, very good hit rate, and he doesn't take many at all. He shot about 17%, I think, last year. And then this year he's shooting like 24, 25%. So you're going to have a play that has potential of like 75% chance of hitting. So I would single bet that if you see it and the payout is decent. So that is Amen Thompson for points, but he doesn't shoot many threes. He's going to be a lot of twos, a lot of dunks, a lot of offensive rebounds. He's a very good rebounder just based off athleticism. Even his brother in Detroit, Asar Thompson, is the same way. They both rebound very well for their size, just with their athleticism. And his rebounding has kind of hurt Alfred Sengun's rebound chances ever since he's got more playing time. Sengun's rebounds have started to go down. So it's kind of cannibalizing his rebound chances when it comes to Sengun. So Sengun has a high rebound line. You could look at an under there. And then the next game is going to be the Portland Trailblazers. They're going to be on a back-to-back against the Dallas Mavericks. So the Trailblazers just won in a blowout. A lot of guys got a lot of touches. But a guy who went off was Deni Avdija. The Mavericks give up the 8th most points to the power forward position, where he's slotted at because Jeremy Grant's been out. And he's coming off a 26-point game in that blowout, and he has been consistently scoring across the board. So he's definitely a good one to take a look at. Someone for the Mavericks is going to be PJ Washington. The Blazers give up the 7th most points to the power forward position. He's been playing well with Luka and Kyrie out. And once again, that first quarter prop, if it's at 3.5, I know someone said they got it at 3.5 last game. He will definitely get 2 buckets. So keep an eye out for that. And then I have a sleeper for this game. The Mavericks. It's going to be Spencer Dinwiddie of the Mavericks. Blazers give up the 2nd most points and the 4th most assists to the point guard position. And last game out, he had 19 points and 8 assists with Luka and Kyrie out. So he is a sleeper to take a look at. Next game is going to be another fireworks game, probably the fireworks game. And it's going to be the Hawks at the Suns. Devin Booker has a great matchup here. The Hawks give up the 5th most points, the 5th most assists to the shooting guard position. Last 5 games versus the Hawks historically, he's averaging 31 points against them. And then the last 5 games he's played, he's averaging 9 assists. So he wasn't getting many assists historically, but as of late, he's been getting a ton of assists, almost running the point guard position. So you can combine those together, 31 points, 9 assists. He's going to have a big game here in a fast-paced matchup. And then on the other side of things, Jalen Johnson is already ruled out again. So someone to take a look at is going to be DeAndre Hunter. I know he had a bad game against the Lakers a couple days ago, but the Suns do give up the 4th most points and the 5th most assists to the power forward position. In one game last year, he had 22 points, 1 assist, and over the last 10 games, he's averaging 20 points and 1.5 assists. So he doesn't pass the ball much. So if the points assist is just 1 higher, I think that's fine. But if it's 2 higher, I'd stay away from it and just go with points. Next game is going to be a run it back game. The Heat versus Jazz. I believe this was the first game Jimmy Butler sat out on his suspension. The Heat played against the Jazz, and the Jazz blew out the Heat by 30 points. So now the Heat have had a couple of games to play together without Jimmy Butler, and they're starting to get things going. So they're going to play back again. And one guy for the Jazz to keep an eye out on is going to be Walker Kessler. The Heat give up the 8th most rebounds to the center position. He had 16 rebounds in that matchup a couple days ago. And then on the other side of things, the Heat, they've had a lot of guys spread out. Jaime Jaquez has been doing well. Duncan Robinson has been doing well. Tyler Hero kind of hasn't been that like number 1 option type guy. He's still like a second option. Bam Adebayo hasn't been amazing or anything like that. But one guy who has been quietly playing very well in this suspension time has been Nikola Jovic, not Jokic, Jovic. He scored 16 points over the last 3 games with Jimmy Butler out. He's getting a decent amount of minutes. And the Jazz give up the 5th most points to the center position. So keep an eye out for Nikola Jovic of the Miami Heat as a sleeper pick. And then this final game of the night, the Hornets will be at the Lakers. Prayers to the people affected by the wildfires and everything like that. Hopefully that can all get under control soon. But LaMelo Ball, he did grow up around LA. Over the last 5 games, he's averaging 29 points and 7.5 assists. The Lakers give up the 7th most points to point guards and the 5th most assists. His career in LA is 25 points and 9.5 assists. So a little bit less points, a little bit more assists, but he has been scoring a lot more lately. He's been maturing in that area. So could be a good look for points plus assists for LaMelo Ball. And then Mark Williams for rebounds. The Lakers give up the 3rd most rebounds to the center position. He's averaging 10 rebounds over the last 5 games. Also, Nick Richards has been coming off the bench and scoring and get a lot of rebounds. So he's just like a sleeper, if you can even get his lines or not. And then for the Lakers, LeBron James, the Hornets give up the 3rd most points to the power forward position. He's averaging 26 points over the last 5 games. Star players like him and Steph Curry and all that, their lines normally get juiced up a little bit because a lot of people like to bet on them. So you're normally never going to get a discount on these type of guys, but he does have a good matchup, and I wanted to point it out. So if you guys want to discuss lines further, I have a Discord. Link is in the description. You can hop on in there. Conversation will be going on about NBA, NFL, college football, all that stuff. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. You can just jump on in there. And then as far as a recap goes, a couple of days ago, I had a parlay for plus 142, and I needed a 3 from Colin Sexton and Trae Young, and that happened in the last 4 seconds, so that was crazy. For the 8th, I had 2 parlays, one for minus 101, that one hit, and one for minus 104, that one hit. I had Zach LaVine points assist, that hit, and Maxey under assist, that was pretty high, that one hit. RJ Barrett points, rebounds, and assists. They got blown out, but I don't know if he gets it in a competitive game anyway. He would have been very, very close. And then Anthony Simons points. Finished with 17. I believe this one, if it wasn't a blowout, if it was competitive, he hits that. Zubac over PRA, he was going to destroy it in the first half. But so as of the time I'm filming, it's the fourth quarter. It looks like they were getting blown out. Definitely probably is not going to come back in. So blowouts killing everything. And then I had the one in the video, Jalen Williams under points. So it wasn't an awful day, just got ruined by some blowouts. And I will continue to do some of those small parlays because they have been hitting over the past couple of days. And just trying to stay smarter with the legs and not just go base off of a hit rate like I was previously. So I'm going to get this edited and get it out to you. God bless you all. It's final round. My name is Jordan. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.